Hiya, welcome to day 3 of the Marina2020 July Yoga Challenge. I hope you're having a good month so far, and it's Friday as well. So we're going to start, as we always do, with a bit of breath work and then just flow through a sequence. So just starting in the mat or the area you're working in, just having feet about hip width apart. And as before, just taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and then out through the mouth. So this really tries to just elicit a sense of calm on the body before you do a little workout. So just a couple more deep breaths here. And on the last breath, just noticing your shoulders come down, making space for the neck. Amazing, really nice. So we're going to start with a little yoga sequence to start with. So again, keeping feet hip width apart. We're going to come down into a chair pose. So you really want to just sink down into your knees, so your knees are directly above your feet, and then arms up high, so sort of in line with your ears. So I'll just turn sideways so you can see this from a side angle. So really try and just sink deep, so pushing your bum back, and then just keeping your eye gaze forward. So just really sink down, and then as we exhale, we're going to fold down, so straightening the legs, coming into a forward fold. Don't worry if your hands don't quite reach the floor. And then big inhale, we're slowly rolling up from the bottom of the spine, making sure the head is the last thing that comes up, reaching arms high. Amazing, really nice. So exhale back down to the chair pose. Again, maybe seeing if you can sink a little bit lower this time, keeping those arms next to the ears. Inhale and then exhale and fold forward. Again, if you need a little bend in those legs, that's absolutely fine here. Just letting the arms hang down. And then inhale, we're slowly rolling up from the bottom of the spine, up, interlacing the fingers at the top. Really nice. So exhale down, we're doing 2 more. Again, sinking that a little bit lower, keeping the eye gaze forward. Inhale, then exhale, come forward, forward fold. Big inhale, we're just rolling up, hands at the top. And then exhale, sink down. Really good, so it's just a flowing motion. So we're slowly coming bum up, exhale down, and then last time, inhale, roll all the way up to the top. Amazing, really good. As you exhale, just letting the arms come down, give yourself a little shake. So we're going to come straight onto the floor now. So coming into a tabletop position, also going into cat and cow. So you want your shoulders directly above your wrists and then hips directly above the knees. So just taking eye gaze down, just this neutral position. And then we're going to flow through some cat cows. So as you inhale, just slowly start to tilt the head up, curving the back and pushing the bum away. And then exhale, slowly start to curl the back the other way, taking eye gaze down towards the knees. This is cat pose. So inhale, we're sweeping round, coming to cow, and then exhale, curl down. Just 2 more, big inhale, swoop up, and then exhale down. Last one. Inhale, rise, and then exhale back. Really good. So just coming back to the neutral position now, and we're going to flip the feet, so turn the feet over and push back into downward dog. So really pushing away with the hands, raising the hips high to the sky. So the aim is to sort of get the heels as near to the floor as possible, but they might be slightly raised as we're still warming up. So just push away with the hands and maybe have a slight bend in the knees to just really push that hip further back. Really good. So as this is our first downward dog, we're going to just slowly start to walk the dog, so lifting up alternate heels just to get a bit of motion in the calves and the hamstrings. Just really feeling both legs just starting to stretch a little bit more. And then keeping both heels back to neutral. Really good. So our front leg, we're going to raise this up for three-legged dog, so trying to keep the rest of the body as still as possible, scooping that leg up and really pushing away with the hands. So you can notice that I push away and my whole body sinks back. So you're trying to make all the limbs as long as possible. And then just breathe here for a couple of breaths. And then as we inhale, we're going to swoop that knee all the way forward. Step that foot between the hands, helping it if you need, and make sure the knee is directly above the ankle. Really good. So we're going to come down to a hip stretch now. So dropping that back knee, flipping the toe, and then maybe if you can, moving that foot a little bit further back. Really good. So placing both hands on the floor. So if you're mirroring me, it might be your left leg rather than your right that's forward. But just with the same hand, we're just placing it just above the knee, just onto the thigh, and then turning our core to face the front. So to protect the knee as well, just turning that foot to a slight 45-degree. Inhale and then exhale and just sink deep into those hips. But this is a really good stretch for the back hip flexor, and you should feel that your glutes are sort of engaged a bit here. But just make sure that knee is directly above the ankle, so you're not sort of opening it up too much at this stage. So just a couple of deep breaths. And then if we want to enhance it, just lifting that front arm as you inhale all the way up to the sky, letting the eye gaze follow. So I can really feel my hip flexors open up here. If you spend a lot of time sitting down at the moment, these muscles can definitely get a bit shorter, so doing stretches like this can really just help to open up the hip. So big inhale, and then exhale, you can take the hand to your lower back, rolling the shoulder back and down as you go, and keeping that chest open, facing the knee. If you want a bit more and you can't really feel it, you can come onto the little toe side of that foot and then push that knee away. So we're just sort of opening up the hip, and you find that your hips just sink a bit lower as well into the ground. This is more of a lizard pose. Really nice. So if you were in that lizard pose, just bringing that leg back up so the knee is directly above ankle. Then inhale, reach the arm up high. And then exhale, we're placing the hand just on the leg, walking that foot in slightly, and then placing the hand on the other side. Really good. Flip that back foot, and then we're going to push back to downward dog. My mat is a little bit smaller today, so I've got to just work around it. So inhale and exhale, just sink down again. So let's go to walk the dog, so lifting up alternate heels, just working the calves and the hamstrings, getting a bit of motion again in the body, and then coming back to neutral, so keeping both heels back down. So we're going to work our back leg this time. So as you inhale, lift the back leg up, point it up, coming into three-legged dog on the other side. So again, really pushing away with the hands and trying to have the limbs as long as possible. Just having a few deep breaths here. And then on the next inhale, we're bending the knee in, scooping it through and stepping it between the hands. Again, knee directly above ankle. And dropping that back knee down and flipping the foot. So we're just coming to that hip flexor stretch on the other side. So to start with, as before, you can bring, making sure that foot is turned out slightly to a 45, and then bring the hand just behind the knee. And then really you can see my leg from the other side now, so the stretch is really here on the hip flexor. If you can't feel it, maybe open the legs a little bit wider apart, and then just breathe. So we're going to scoop that arm up, so inhale, reach the arm long, taking eye gaze to follow, and just have a couple of deep breaths. You might find that one hip is a bit tighter than the other. If that is the case, just don't worry, you might want to spend a bit more time maybe on one side over the other, but just really breathe deeply into this stretch. So on the exhale, you can lift that back hand over to the lower back, rolling the shoulder back and down as you go. And then if you want that other option, you can just transfer the weight to the little toe of that front foot, just opening up that hip a little bit more for lizard. So just a couple more breaths here, really feeling that opening of the hip, the stretch of the hip flexors. If you're in lizard, you can bring that knee directly above the ankle again. Then inhale, reach the arm up long. And then exhale, bring the arm back down to the thigh. So walking that foot in slightly, and then again, having hands either side of the foot. And then we're going to push back to downward dog. So flipping that back foot, coming up, and then pushing back, downward dog pose. So inhale and exhale and just push away. You might find your heels are maybe a little bit nearer the floor now. Just a couple of breaths here. And then we're just going to slowly come down back to that horse stance pose we were in before. Really good. So in yoga, if you ever need a break at any point, just to rest the back or the body in general, you can come into child's pose. So my preference really is wide leg child's pose. So you have your knees just wide of hip, bringing toes together at back, and then you're just sitting back and just extending the arms away. So inhale and then just exhale and letting the hand come down onto the floor, and just stretch those arms away and just rest here. So just really letting your whole body sink down. If you're holding any tension, maybe just drop the forearms down as well. Just sinking deep into the mat below you. And then on the next inhale, we're just going to slowly roll back up, coming into the horse stance. And then exhale back again, downward dog. Making any adjustments with the hands and feet. And then we'll slowly just start to walk the feet towards the hands. Coming into that forward fold position. And then as we did at the beginning, inhale, just slowly rolling up. The last bit is the head to come up. Hands at the top. And then exhale, bring the hands down by your sides. Really nice. Amazing, well done. So thank you so much for joining me for day 3 today. I hope you enjoyed it. Your hips are feeling a little bit more open. Have a lovely Friday, and I will see you tomorrow for day 4. Thank you.